Attention, attention! A new version of Minecraft has been discontinued. This is your final update. But also, it is update day, my dudes. Welcome back. You know the amount of joy that I get from a Minecraft update day. I love this stuff. Smack that like button, sit back and get cozy. You know the deal by now. From plant updates to a brand new command, all the way over to a spooky new ghast and maybe possibly some beautiful looks. We've got a lot to take a look at in this update. For a world, download this quaint little update showcase world. Join members club today. There's a link to it down below. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Today, we begin with the bad news. Let's just get it out of the way. Unfortunately, versions discontinued forever inside of this update at last. VR MR. Our ability to support VR MR devices has come to an end and will no longer support updates after March of 2025. March of 2025? What do you mean? It's May 2025. Yes, I know. With all the Minecraft VR and MR devices discontinued, if you're watching this on your headset right now, I'm so sorry, but everything that we talk about today, I don't think you're ever going to end up seeing again. There's a little bit of extra information on this lack of a new Minecraft update information, so, well, yeah, it's a little bit more information. Minecraft 1.21.80, one of the biggest moves, is a gigantic parity overhaul that has made its way over to Bedrock Edition. Now, this parity overhaul is actually going to affect just about every single plant in the entire game. More specifically, it will affect all of the plants that I have laid out and we're taking a look at over here. So that means something from mangrove propagules all the way down to deep under the wild blue coral plants and fans. Every single one of these plants that we're taking a look at over here has had a change to the random offset range values. In slightly less technical blah blah terms, basically what that means is we take a plant and plant it on a block. Well, as you know, something like a flower, it doesn't always sit dead center in the middle of the block. Instead, these plants have a random offset range on the X and Z axis for most, but not all plants. This random X and Z offset range, it's been adjusted. But it's actually not just the X and Z values here. Instead, depending on the plant that we're talking about here, it's also going to be the Y range as well. Now, the Y range still feels quite noticeable, like way more so than Minecraft to Java, but it is what it is, right? The plants that seem to have their Y range adjusted mainly have to do with the different types of grasses in the game. So we have our normal grass and then the newer grass, the dry stuff. Their Y range being a little bit different will cause some grasses to be a little bit taller and shorter. So when it comes to random offset, all of the flowers just about and all of these other things have been changed, but also pointed dripstone as well. Now, functionally, this might slightly adjust farms that involve things falling on pointed dripstone. So if you got one of those fancy little things, jump in game and double check it out. But this is going to have to do with the random offset when it's on the top of a block. But you better believe it also affects the random offset range on the bottom of a block as well. Hey, so this is awkward, real awkward, alright? This is the change that has made its way into the update. We have a slight change to elytra flying and rockets here, but I'm having a little trouble showing this one off. So I've been practicing and testing with this one. Essentially here, when we have the elytra and we use a rocket on a block, well, instead of the rocket launching off, we should be getting a little bit of flight boost. So, for example, let's say we were cruising, sailing around the world, and then I used a rocket on a block like that. Well, previously, instead of getting a boost, it would have gone just straight up into the air, kind of like that. Basically, this means that you will be able to more consistently get a boost from rockets on the elytra. Now, kind of just like that right there. I think I actually did it. No way, I'm great. For the most part, elytra flying will be the same, but you'll have to be careful in tight situations. One thing that this does do is make it a lot easier to crash land into something. Boom, you pause your game. Inside of pause game, go to accessibility. Somewhere inside of this thing, there should be a profanity. No, it's not in this one. I'm sorry, these menus are so confusing to me still. The general, over inside of general, there should be a filter profanity toggle. By default, on console inside of this update, this toggle will be turned on. Now, a little word of warning here. The toggle is not necessarily a bad thing, but Microsoft Mojang's little profanity filtering, it's a little hardcore, which could lead to weird things sometimes being censored. If you had like a sus combo of letters, it might just censor things even on a sign. So if your signs are looking all starred out and censored, you might want to consider turning that toggle off. Structures are a pretty big part of Minecraft. Inside of this update, unfortunately, they get pushed back a little bit more. So the structure change here, with things being pushed back into experimental, specifically it has to do with data-driven jigsaw structures. Ever since, I want to say it was about November last year, Mojang has not only announced that they are working on better structures for Bedrock Edition, but then also have implemented some experimental features into the preview. These new, better, more powerful experimental features, they're going to relate to the jigsaw block in-game. Long story short, you're a 100% survival crafter, that's all you do. Well, you're never going to notice this one. They're working on expanding, improving this functionality, but apparently, unfortunately, the functionality is just not quite cooked quite yet. They have therefore pushed this stuff behind experimental. Brand new command inside of this update. It's super powerful. Place, and then after that, we can go ahead and say structure. This is the new part. After that, you could use this command to place many, as in, apparently only 2 structures are being offered up here, but we could place many different structures in the game. If I go ahead and run that command right there, bam, the trial chamber was, or ruined, whatever. Now, I'd like to see here is that command maybe adapting to my environment. For example, if I were, say, under the water, can I place a... No, I can't. Oh, it's so sad. But the cool thing about this command is the fact that it's here and maybe it's being worked on. You can use it to place different structures in the game. Maybe if you're trying to, like, experiment with them, check it out, or just explore them a little bit easier, it's a great command. Relating to that command, another new attachment as well. So unfortunately, we don't really have the super powerful place feature command. I don't think this one is out in the full version quite yet, but wow, you can place a lot with it. But we can do place a jigsaw, and then if I had a jigsaw specific file to place, I could place it. That one's probably a little bit more useful if you're into creating custom structures, maybe add-ons and the like. Now, Minecraft world, you know how it goes. Usually, you jump into it and it looks something like this. We go up a little, we go down a little. Well, inside of this update, for the very first time ever, maybe, you might be able to change that up a little bit. Alright, so I'll admit it, I have a little bit of post-update shock here. In some of the more recent updates, there have been instances, for example, the pause button of it being in the update, getting removed last second. Is this one of those instances? Well, unfortunately, thanks to how Mojang does it, we just have to wait and see. But when the update's out, you might have some experimental new flat world presets. If you don't have these experimental presets, then you can check them out inside of preview right now. We'll go ahead and run through them and check them all out. So inside of the create a world screen, slide to advanced, slide to flat world, and tap this thing on. Now previously, we only had classic flat. This was a super flat world that was empty with just grass, dirt, and bedrock. Now, you can actually tap on this preset right here and change your world. Our first brand new flat world preset is called Tunneler's Dream. Jump into this world and wow, the grass is cold and actually the mobs that spawn around here are pretty freezing too. We're really high up near the clouds too. Inside of this world, basically it's all about digging. You're going to have loads and layers of blocks that are stone and dirt for, well, tunneling around. Next up, we've got Water World. This one is all about an ocean. Jump into this flat world, and immediately, if you're in survival, you're going to need to be careful. There will be drown that will spawn all around you, and you're at the bottom of a 60-block deep ocean. For survival, this one is so dangerous. If you are somehow able to ever swim all the way up to the surface of this world, though, then you will find that there's, well, not really very much else here. It's all water. Maybe good for, like, cosplaying Subnautica or something. Our next preset is one of the ones that sounds the most intriguing. It's called Overworld, and, well, it's got the makeup of the OG Overworld, not the modern era. This will take us back to a day pre-Minecraft 1.18 Caves and Cliffs when the overworld was just from like 0 up to 64, and then of course the sky beyond it. Inside of this world, you got like 3 or 4, maybe 5 layers of grass blocks and then stone all the way down to bedrock. Now, a little bit of a spoiler alert here when it comes to these flat world presets, whether you check them out in preview or the full update, there are no structures on flat quite yet. It doesn't seem like all of this flat world stuff is quite finished yet. The devs are working on polishing it and getting it in perfect parity with Java, so we might see more changes soon. If you thought that other world was cold, boy, you don't even know the half of it. This one right here is called Snowy Kingdom, and I mean, surprise, surprise, you can see pretty straightforward why it's called that. Inside of this world, we've got snow all over the ground, a little bit of grass down here, you keep digging down, and I mean, then it turns to stone, and it, you know, goes down even farther. This one is frozen, it's frigid. It reminds me of my birthday, December 23rd. No, I'm not gonna lie. Mainly because there is documented video proof. The first time I created the bottomless pit world, I was like, hey, what gives? This is kind of just the same as the other ones. But no, it's definitely not. A bottomless pit, it's a couple layers of grass blocks, dirt, and then cobblestone. And no bedrock at all. You could fall all the way down to the void. They're kind of evil for this one. Be careful. Getting near the end of our list here today. Next up, we've got desert. It's sand. Grease lightning, baby. There's sand all over the place. Dig down a little bit beneath this sand, and then eventually you will find sandstone. You might have to go a little bit of a ways, though. Hey, yo, listen real quick, though. This world is really good for showing off that windy ambient sound that was added in spring to life. Finally here, we've got a world called Redstone Ready. Inside of this world, I guess it's meant for like creating redstone contraptions. You have sandstone all over the place. Sandstone goes super far down, so you've got tons of room for depth when it comes to your 3x3 redstone spiral door. Now, like I mentioned, this stuff is being worked on. It should be improving sometime soon. Right now, if you want to jump into one of these worlds and check it out, it's a big challenge. In fact, one of the only ways you're going to be able to actually get things inside of some of these presets, the trader, wandering trader. Wait for this guy to spawn, hopefully to be able to... Well, then again, I don't even know how you could get any emeralds, so... maybe that's how. Like we've talked about in this recent video right here, check it out next. There's even more coming to Superflat sometime soon. The trail ruin structure added to the game, shockingly, approximately 2 years ago now. Well, inside of this update at last, it's got some parity with Minecraft Java Edition. Inside of this one, if you are ever able to find a trail ruin structure inside of the birch forest biome, old growth birch forest biome specifically, slide over to Java, and as long as you're using the same seed, you'll be able to find the structure in the same exact spot. It's such a cool structure, but it needs a better incentive, right? Technical changes. And now if I wanted to, I could make this video 4 times as long by going line by line into the technical changes inside of this update because, oh gosh, there are so many. A lot of these different technical changes here, well, they're going to have to do with different components that are coming to the game sometime soon in order to set up for future updates. For example, the leashable component now supports multiple presets. In hindsight, knowing about the next update and what we've got in it so far, we know that this is all about their recent leash upgrades. But yeah, basically we're seeing some of the functionality and technical capabilities. The groundwork is being laid inside of this update for things like a flying Happy Ghast mob, better leashes, and even more. Realms. Hey, so there's a new screen. I can't show you the new screen because I don't have a realm. If for future ones of these you think it'd be cool of me to get a realm and actually show off the changes, let me know down below. I just don't know how many people actually really deeply care about the realm changes. What I can do here is show you a screenshot courtesy of the Minecraft wiki though. So here we can see that we've got a brand new set region option. Inside of this update, you might be able to locate your realm a little bit closer to you. So theoretically, performance should be smoother. For some of our other new realm updates, so go ahead and pause the video right now and read. And so, Minecraft 1.21.80, that's just about it. But as you can tell from the length of this video, there is a little bit more. So these next changes, they may or may not be here, and they may or may not change before they make it into the full game. Well, that's because these features, they're all experimental. If you want to check out these features inside of your world, you will need to enable the experimental toggle. When creating or modifying your world, you'll be able to find this toggle inside of experiments. You should have one for the Happy Ghast and maybe even one for vibrant visuals if you're lucky. Now, because these features aren't like the full update or anything, we're going to take a look at them, but we're just going to go through them relatively quickly. For even more on these features, check out the whole channel next. I've got tons of videos on them. First things first, we've got a brand new block here. It's called the dried gas block. This thing is a block that you'll be able to find inside of the nether in this update right now, or actually be able to craft. So check around in your local soul sand valley biome, buy the fossils, or if you want to in this update, go ahead and craft it with gas tears and a bone block. Now, don't get too emotionally attached to this recipe, though, because, for one, I've just done it entirely wrong. And for two, this recipe is changing, actually, by the time it ends up releasing. This will be swapped out for soul sand. Now, the dried gas is the start of the star of the show of the next Minecraft update. Grab a dried gas from the nether or craft it, come back over to the overworld and place it in water, and then you're gonna need to give this thing a little bit of time. Specifically, 20 minutes worth of time. Now, thanks to the wonderful magic that is Minecraft Java Edition, we could use the debug stick over here to check out the different block states that this thing has. Over the course of 20 minutes, while waterlogged, this block will go through numerous changes. So we're going to start out with something that looks like this. Then after hydrating for a little bit of time, we'll get to something that looks like that. Later, we get something like that. And then eventually, we get something that looks like this as well. After you go through the whole circle of life and process of rehydrating your dried gas, it comes to life. When it comes to life, it'll come to life as something known as a gasling. And I'll go ahead and throw this command down in the description so you can copy and paste it into your world. But once that happens, this thing will pop up into your world. But a little catch, when this thing pops up into your world, it will be a little bit smaller than this one. They went ahead and made this thing way larger in a later update. But the Ghastling, look at this little mob. It'll fly around and basically just be happy. And now, once we have a Ghastling birthed into our world, it is again a waiting game. Because unfortunately, with this Ghastling here, you can't do anything quite yet. It's just a baby mob. In the meantime, we can slide over to the crafting table with these ingredients right here and craft something else. These ingredients, we place them in the crafting table in this pattern right here, and you'll be able to craft yourself the new harness block. But anyway, we'll go ahead and speed this thing up. So for my science, whoa, that was way quicker on Bedrock. Once you grow this wonderful buddy all the way up, you get a giant version of the gas. If I go ahead and put this harness on you, and if I interact with you, doing this in survival, by the way, if I interact with you, all of a sudden I can fly around. Oh my god, it's a game changer. This thing is crazy. Wow, it's insane. It's a 4-player rideable flying mob. I think we'll save the details on that for later. Coming to the game inside of this update, we've got a fancy little thing called the Locator Bar. Now I'm showing you old footage from an old video because since that video was recorded, the Locator Bar was changed pretty significantly, and in its current form, it's totally different to how it will be in the full update. This Locator Bar will be a new bar that will pop up over your experience bar if there are multiple players inside of your world. You can use it to find where players are a little bit easier. Last but not least here, the most uncertain thing of the day out of everything we've taken a look at. Vibrant visuals. Debuted at Minecraft Live, and today, possibly for the very first time, they might kind of be here. Vibrant visuals, they are not finished, they are highly experimental, and they will also receive updates going forward. Like in the next update, for example, they're already changing the nether. Enable the toggle in your world, pause the game, go to settings, go to video, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and buy graphics mode if you have this enabled, and if they dropped it in the update, well, you'll have vibrant visuals. Now, if I go ahead and tap on that right there, switch it over. Then, after that, we have another new menu that pops up. If I scroll down right here, we can go ahead and adjust some of the settings even more. With vibrant visuals enabled inside of your world, oh my god, the world is beautiful. Look at the water. Take a look at the sun and the clouds. Vibrant visuals is one of the most beautiful updates to Minecraft of all time, and in a couple of updates time, this will be the default Minecraft experience. Sunrise and sunset are some of the most beautiful things that happen inside of vibrant visuals, and are also at the same time one of the best times to check out the shadow work that has gone down. So while we wait for the shadows to pop up with the sun rising over the hill over there, vibrant visuals may not be inside of this update as the devs are still working on it. If it did make it into the update, you may also not even have access to it because there are some slightly beefier technical specs that you'll need to have inside of your machine to be able to run. We've been checking out vibrant visuals quite a bit. There's actually a full playlist for that, so check it out even more if you want to know more about it in different experiments and tests. But the shadows right here, look at these things. They're always going to be grid aligned, and they will actually match to the block or the plant or whatever the thing that is creating the shadow. Like, check the grass right there. That's so cool looking. And then the fence right there, or even the leaves. And a tiny little detail that I love here, the leaves, they have little holes in them. Well, so do the shadows too. Vibrant visuals, by the time it's done, is going to be one of the greatest Minecraft updates of all time. In time, we'll look back on this little moment right here together and reminisce on how this is where it all began. Minecraft 1.21.80, that's all I've got. Members Club, it supports me directly, and in return, you get some cool extra benefits. World download, it is out right now. Tap like and subscribe for more too. Whoa, I haven't seen that shadow yet. Look at the angled sign shadow. That's so sick. Playlist on the end card for even more update recaps. Stay tuned on the channel because even more large, gigantic stuff is coming this week. Thank you very much. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.